Get a little sip of water here before we get started. Do you know we're doing this is the first episode of
Oh,
the Batcast.
this is the first episode.
Right, but well the other episode that you might think was the first was actually it was point nine. So it was like a what would you call that? A beta episode?
Okay, so this is a real episode. So the second episode is the first episode.
Yeah, I think that's how it goes.
Excellent.
Welcome to the Batcast. We are live. We're recording. We're not live, not like we're streaming live.
We are a live.
But if you're listening to this, we recorded it live, completely unedited, raw. This is the first episode of the Batcast, recording out of Phoenix, Arizona.
That's right.
Sunny Phoenix.
Very, very sunny.
I'm long sleeved right now.
What's that on
Because
your sleeve?
mayonnaise.
Duke's mayonnaise.
Yeah, Duke's mayonnaise. Check it out. Wearing long sleeves right now, even though it's warm outside because I just got out of the cold plunge.
Oh, so you're kind of chilly.
I'm a little chilly.
Cold plunge.
Yeah.
You know what? I also just got out of the cold plunge.
Imagine that. Uh, I'll tell you what, the cold plunge has been a lifesaver because I'm getting ready for a jiu-jitsu tournament.
I am so excited. This is fight week.
Yeah, this is fight week.
You're currently doing a little bit of a weight cut.
Uh-huh.
And Saturday is tournament day.
Friday is weigh-in, and then Saturday is the tournament day.
I'm the embedded.
Yes, you're deeply embedded in this whole crazy
Yeah,
operation we're
this is
going on.
wild.
Yeah.
It's been fun going through all of the things you're gonna do to
Mm-hmm.
get ready for some fights.
And I have to thank you because you have kept me on track. I've been not anything extreme because
Yeah.
at my age you don't want an extreme weight cut.
No.
But I've been fasting.
Mm-hmm.
I've only been eating from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yes. Yeah.
And then for the rest of the day I've been fasting. At night also I don't eat while I'm sleeping. So I've been and you've kept me on track. Like after 6, like around like 8 o'clock before bed, I'm like, oh, I'd love some ice cream. You're like, you can't do that.
Can't do it.
You're the best coach.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're the best
What do I do? Yeah. I'm the best subject.
subject.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great, and we're excited to see how you do.
Yeah. I really appreciate all the help. That's been great.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about pinball. Enough about us.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about pinball. The first thing on the docket. Oh, we have new sponsors.
Oh, yes. This is exciting.
This is very exciting. Thank you for. We have Marco Specialties on board.
Market where we both used to work.
We love those
That's where
guys.
we met.
Yep, they offered to sponsor the podcast, and we love that because that's where we get our parts from,
Yeah.
and that's where you should get your parts from too. We're making an order today.
We are making an order today. We make an order almost every Thursday. Seems to be the day that I put in the orders.
Right, and they get it out
Right away.
super fast. So if you need any pinball parts, if you're looking for a part you can't find any place, let them know. They've been known to like start manufacturing parts. If enough people call in and they can't find it, they will reverse engineer something and actually get that thing made so the pinball community can be supplied with all of their parts.
Yeah.
It's the one-stop shop,
One
isn't it?
stop. Yeah, you can buy all kind of
You
things
can do all
there.
kind. You can get glass, pinball parts, all kind of good stuff.
Yeah. You can get
That's
everything.
correct,
pinball. Yes, that's totally right.
Everything pinball is their tagline.
And they mean it.
Everything pinball.
Yeah.
Also, special shout out to Game Room Goodies. Game Room Goodies is also sponsoring our show. That's where we get all our machines from. And actually, did you know they do more than just pinball machines?
Yeah, whenever we go over there to see what they've got in the showroom, there's always a lot of cool stuff. Like
Skee ball.
skee ball. We really wanted a skee ball.
We can't. The footprint. It's
Too
a little too big, but we really love it.
Yeah, it's too big.
I
Too
think
many back glasses.
If we weren't pinball centric and have these big pinball tournaments, I think we would have that kind of stuff.
Wouldn't it be cool to have a big skee ball tournament?
Oh, that would be amazing.
We did do that
with
once. A lot of
like a
years.
dozen skee ball. What do you
Yeah,
call them? Skee ball lanes, skee ball machines.
I think we call it a lane.
That would be great.
Yeah.
We used to do tournaments at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, we did do that. We did. We had an electric bat skee ball tournament
Yeah,
at Chuck E. Cheese.
we certainly did.
Who
But
won that? Let's talk about who won that one.
you want it.
I did.
You are amazing. So game room goodies. You can get arcade driving games, arcade golf games. Kind of
Oh,
cool little stuff.
yeah.
Dancing music, basketball, alley rollers and bowlers, dart boards, all kind jukeboxes. Did you know they have jukeboxes?
I actually didn't know that.
Right. So even if you're not into pinball, still give them a call. Or if you're looking for that special machine, like a special pinball machine,
Hmm.
they rehab machines. They'll do custom cabinets. Give Aaron a call. We'll put the web address right down here, GameRoomGoodies.com. Check them out. Thank you so much for the sponsorship,
Thank
both
you.
Marco Specialties and Game Room Goodies. Um, great people to work with. And we eat our own dog food. We've been working with these folks for years.
Yes, these
We're
are
not just taking some new sponsors we've never worked with.
no, totally. Game Room Goodies has
Mm.
been really, really good to us. We talk about them even when they don't sponsor us. So,
Right.
the service has been
They could not
amazing.
sponsor us and
Yeah,
we
still,
still talk about don't tell them that.
yeah, don't.
Yeah.
Aaron, Fred, if you're listening,
they're, they're fantastic people.
hmm
Um,
great to work.
also on the electric bat side, we have some new merch. Did you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So this is some new merch. It's on the website. You can buy it. This is a towel. We keep it clipped to our belt loops.
Mm-hmm.
Because whenever you're at tournaments and you see people, or even on streams, you see people, they walk up to a machine and someone with real sweaty hands has been playing. Yeah. And then they do this thing that makes no sense to me.
I know where you're going with this.
They take their shirt, and it's not even the outside, it's the inside. It's the part that touches their skin. And they go and wipe across and wipe some random person's sweat off of a machine
Right.
onto the inside of their own clothing.
Yeah.
Why would you do
I've
that?
seen it happen.
So next time you see like some
Uh-huh.
sweaty person somewhere, would you just walk up to them and be like, "Sir, I see that you're sweating profusely. Would you mind just wiping that off on the inside of my garment?"
I'm gonna start doing that at restaurants. So you're not gonna bring up a problem unless you have a solution.
That's
Do you
true.
have a
I have
solution?
a solution. It's an electric bat arcade towel. This will wipe off.
I like to call them a pin towel.
Pin towel. It's a
Pin
pin
towel.
towel. Great.
Mhm.
Great name for it. Our buddy Andy made these for us. They're sublimated on. I'm not exactly. It's like a chamois. It's
Right.
not microfiber.
It's
a
it's
soft.
it's beyond microfiber. This thing is really soft, really smooth, and
It will handle other people's sweat.
it's a perfect solution.
Yeah. Or your own sweat. If you're the person with the sweaty hands,
Right. If
you can
you
wipe them off.
you're playing a tournament, sometimes things get a little tense,
Sure.
so you gotta sweat a little bit. You know what I've thought this for years, and I think I've even brought this up to you when we were bowling. You know how bowling alleys have that when your ball comes shooting back to you, but before you grab it, there's a little vent there, it's just shooting some air.
I always thought that was just like so that way. I thought that was a function of the ball return feed.
Oh, like a car or something. No, that's to dry your hand. And I always thought, how cool would it be if Stern, or actually, it's more like something Jersey Jack would do. They put little vents by the flipper buttons, by the cabinet buttons, right? And
On the
that's
CEs.
yeah, that's blowing a little air, boy. That would hey. You know what? You don't know what's anything Jersey Jack. Go with that. I think that's a little something you can add to your CEs, a little selling point.
Did you want to just drill holes in the side of the cabinet for
We-
something to as proof of
I've
concept?
actually seen people do that before. Not at the button, not at the cabinet switches, but at the just to give the game some vent,
That's true.
to vent some games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Not that's not recommended.
Sweet. Anything new going on at the electric bat, or should we get right into the mailbag? I have some. Believe it or not, once again, Yeah, Rachel has no idea what I'm doing. I just tell her to sit down and let's record this
Yeah, just show up.
and I have the questions for her.
Okay. Yeah.
You want to get into the mailbag?
Yeah, let's get into the mailbag.
Okay.
Oh, we do have a new game. We have Venom. It's
Oh,
fantastic. You asked me if we had anything new at the arcade.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about, Venom. And you know what? I knew that too.
Yeah.
I played it. I only played it like twice. One time it was just two balls because I had to run the trash to the dumpster. So I didn't get to play my third ball, but and then I played a full game with it was you, me, Roland, and Nate,
Yeah.
and I won.
You did win.
I did, but that's
Just by a little bit though. I thought I was gonna get you.
yeah. All three of you are way better than me. But we were all just feeling the game out. This is going to be the only time I can brag about beating you three. Uh, so what a fun game!
It's super fun. The first,
Mm-hmm.
so I played two games as well. Um, People were on it all night. We didn't, we wouldn't let people play.
Right.
So the first game I played, I had no idea what was going on, and the balls were just, shooting at me quickly from places. We haven't watched a lot of streams, don't
Right.
know
Mm-hmm.
what's going on. So I learned very quickly that I needed to pay attention a little bit more than what I was doing.
It's a game. It keeps you on your toes,
Yeah.
right? Wouldn't you say that?
We have the pro.
We have the pro. We have the pro. We don't know, but we might get the premium. Who knows? We haven't played it yet. We will play it in Expo.
Yeah.
Or at Expo.
Yeah.
Not in the tournament. We'll play. We don't do the Expo tournament.
No.
But yeah, that was a fun game. And I'll tell you one thing I noticed. I've always said Ghostbusters is the most beautiful pinball machine.
Yeah.
Man, this won me over.
You like this better than Ghostbusters art.
This art, just 'cause Venom is so tough. There've been time for years. You and I have both talked about it. How because Stern's doing all this Marvel stuff,
Right.
and I was like, how cool would it be if you got Todd McFarlane or Rob Liefeld to come in and do the artwork? Man, this is it. This is it. And
It's superb.
this is it. It looks tough. It looks super cool.
I like it because it's dark.
It is
I
darker.
mean, dark color. It's not, the machine is not dark.
The Venom
Wow.
character and all the characters, dealing with the Venom storyline. Man, Carnage. Yeah, the Venom Spider Gwen, all that stuff.
Gwenum.
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 This is the most beautiful, just tough looking machine.
It's great. And I like where we have it. It's on the end of a row, so you can really see the side art.
You want to see the side art. So yeah, that machine is here. Any new machines? Other machines coming to Electric Bat? What's next?
What's next? In about 2 weeks, we think we're gonna have Galactic Tank Force. It's gonna hit the floor.
Finally.
Finally.
I was worried we wouldn't see this, but we finally heard from Game Room Goodies. It is on the way, and we'll have it in 2 weeks. This is going to be cool.
Yeah, this will be the first one in Arizona on the floor. I don't and we haven't played it yet.
We have not. So this is going to be a surprise for us. We know it looks cool. We love Francie's artwork.
Francie,
And it has a really funny story about milkshakes, cows, and aliens.
all great.
Space battles.
Yeah. So if this is the aspect of this game aside from the art that I think that I like the best is the Mystery Science Theater 3000, the MST3K feel of it.
Right.
I think I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to it also. And also, American, in the past, the American machines I guess we've only had one machine, Hot Wheels, has been super reliable. So we're excited about having that, another reliable game for tournaments.
Don't let us down, American.
Yeah. Let's see some updates. We want some exciting stuff with this. So that's going to be cool. Now we're getting to the mailbag.
Oh.
Believe it or not, I have some questions. Well, I don't have questions. Other people have questions, but I'm posing them to you through me.
You're the vessel.
Yeah, I am the vessel of questions.
I like that name.
You like that? You might use that in the module,
RPG, yeah.
the vessel of questions. You come across that, and then here you go. Then you're on a podcast. This is from Guttagool on Discord.
Oh. We
Gutter
like them.
Girls, yeah, Gutter Girls on Discord. And if you want to be a part of the Discord, you can check the description of this video or podcast wherever you're picking this thing up, and click on there and get in there. Make an account if you don't have one. It's a lot of fun. And we have a Batcast channel.
Yeah, so you can ask questions
Yep,
directly.
you can ask. So here we go. It's about the top. He's got a few questions here. We're going to try to get to as many as we can.
Okay.
He's talking about the top earners segment we had in the last episode. Um, it's nice to talk about it since it's ranking and money and a bit of a popularity contest. Is there a way you can look at just plays since the 50 cents games are half the price to play, so it isn't going to
Right, I see.
get the money
Hmm.
thing going. So how is there a way we can get into or you may already know this because you look at the it's not the analytics. What do they call that?
Analytics. I look at
Mm-hmm.
the analytics.
What audits?
Oh, yes, on the machine it's
Yeah,
called audits.
yeah.
Yes. And I do have a little bit of an answer for this. It would change Scooby Doo. Scooby Doo would drop.
Oh wow.
Um, but for the most part, everything is still going to stay the same. The top earners are also
Mm-hmm.
the top players. A few things would get switched around a little bit.
So Scooby Doo from the last episode, which was we were talking about the top earners from last month.
Mhm.
Scooby Doo was number 5.
Right. It would not. It would fall.
If it was just a popularity contest,
If it was just
if
number
it's
of
not about
plays.
money,
Because it's on straight
but
dollar
everything
play.
else would be the same.
Well, everything in the top five would be.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that was Godzilla,
Godzilla number one. Mhm.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things number two.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Avengers was number three.
Okay.
And I forgot what number four was. Do you remember?
I sure don't. You'll have to go back and watch the first episode.
And Scooby Doo was number five.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, that would change a little bit, and then also some of the games towards the bottom would change. Some of the classic solid state games would move above some of the WPC games. So again, some of those games that people think that they want to play, The Creature from the Black Lagoon, things like that.
Mhm.
I think Dolly Parton and Meteor would perform better than some of those some of the time. It's not consistent. But yeah, I will keep track of that. So next month's top 5 games, the earnings report will also be the popularity report. We'll have two different
We'll have a dual report.
two reports and another report.
You love reports.
I love them.
You like spreadsheets and reports and all that
data.
good stuff. Whoa! I just fell back in my chair. If you're only listening to the audio of this, I just fell back a little bit. So go check out the YouTube and my. Well, we got this thing from an old hotel, and this chair kind of fails sometimes. Okay, so let's move on. Go had another question. He liked the technical side when we were talking about coils and all that good stuff and rebuilding stuff. The electrical side could be interesting, like approaching faulty switches, intro to board repair diagnostics, and what have you. We might save that for like another episode, do a deeper dive into that, or did you want to touch on any of that right now?
I think that would be cool to do as a special episode because you would want to have some visuals for that. I would want to be prepared with something to show you.
Right. There's so much going on there. I don't even understand. Maybe I could learn a little bit.
Switch matrix stuff. That's always kind of a brain teaser.
Yeah, good deal. Well, thank you, Gutter Ghoul, for the questions. We'll chat with you more on Discord, and thank you for joining the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Hoosier in AZ on Discord.
An Indianan.
And we suppose a new to our Discord. The question was about IFPA points. How are they divided up? Can you get more into points? The difference in types of tournaments and points for each type. And I got a clarification on this. Basically, so we don't get too much into the weeds because
Points.
Whopper points you can get into a super a rat hole. Um, so basically, as in points for knockout versus match play versus, or I guess group match play versus other types of tournaments. I guess if you're starting a tournament, which kind of a tournament can you get the most Whopper points out of it?
Okay, so
And I guess we'll take just like a one night tournament. We won't get into
okay.
like a league.
Just a single like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we're gonna go play a tournament tonight,
Right.
or maybe more importantly, we're gonna host a tournament tonight. And
Uh-huh.
we've never done it before. So Whopper points are calculated by the number of players, the number of games. Um, so the simplest thing to do is going to be like a group match play. You're going to
Okay.
get twice as many points per game in a group match play, meaning 4 people,
Mm-hmm.
instead of a head-to-head game, two
Okay.
people. So
So what type of tournaments would be head to head?
you could do a max match play would be head-to-head,
Mm-hmm.
and you can even just run like how we run a group match play. You can just run a head-to-head match play.
Okay. So you do that, or isn't there a flipper frenzy?
Flipper Frenzy is very much like max match play,
Okay.
but with a little more like stress.
Right. So and you have to have a queue and all kind of other crazy
Yeah.
stuff. So to keep it easy, if you're running your first tournament, do
Do
five rounds of group match play.
5 rounds of group match play, even 8 rounds of group match play, whatever time you think
And
that you want to do.
and everybody's going to get some good points.
You'll get some points. It'll be easy.
Do you need to have a finals?
You only need to have a finals if you don't have what's called direct play, which is players playing each other. So any kind of like selfie league or pin golf or any other style where you're just playing solo, you have to have a finals component. But if you already have direct play in your tournament, you don't have to have a finals. That's just optional.
Okay. So you could have you do your 5 rounds group match play. You don't need a finals, but you can add a finals. Is there some way to finagle more Whopper points if you have a finals?
Yeah, so each round of finals is also adding to your Whopper points. So if you have 5 rounds of regular play, but then have 3 rounds of finals, it's like you had an 8 round tournament.
Okay, so if you have 4 people in the finals and you make them play 15 rounds, is everybody going to get more points?
You can't have your finals be longer than your regular. You can't. That doesn't quite work. It
Okay.
has to. You only get the points
You know,
in the
Mom,
match. Yeah,
I'm,
I see where you're going
yeah,
with this. Nice.
I'm trying to hack the system
Yeah.
per usual.
Yeah, and your finals, you have to have in between 10% or 50% of your original player base. So there's a limit. You can't just like, okay, everybody go home and then have the last person stay there and play like 10 more games
Right.
by
Right.
themselves. Yeah. So there are some.
We can't do that. Okay, good. Good answer. I like that.
Thank you.
All right. This is from Johnny Q Trek. I think that's his pin side name.
Oh.
Johnny. You think it's like Johnny Quest Trek?
Yeah, I
Do you
think
remember
it's
Johnny Quest?
Yeah, Johnny Quest.
You like Johnny Quest?
Yeah.
The little adventure family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like Star Trek better. I think he's Johnny Quest.
Johnny
Star Trek.
Star Trek. Okay. And we got into this a little bit on the last episode. It's about the tournament button. He's never done this. Is a little confused. How do you keep track of who the legitimate cash winner is at the end of the month? Uh, yeah. So nobody can and you can put anybody's initials in there. Yeah. So how do you keep track of that?
So you're talking about the cash tournament game
Correct.
that's in on the Stern game.
Where you're using the tournament button.
Okay.
Mhm.
So whenever you get onto that leaderboard and it asks you for your initials, it also asks you to create a pin.
Oh, very cool.
So there's a way that if I didn't already know who you were and you came up to me and said, I'm CWPJ whatever,
Right.
I would say, okay, cool.
What's your pin?
What's your pin?
Oh, and it's like I think it's a 4-digit. It's simple.
Yeah.
4-digit pin.
So remember that. Don't just make something up and then like
Right, right. Remember that. Um, for us, we know all of the folks playing, so we don't ever run into an issue.
We did though last month.
Hmm.
Remember, we didn't know who it was. Special. Special was
Hmm.
the third place winner. I
Right.
had no idea who that was. Who's the special pinball person?
We to this day we still don't know who that was.
We do. It was Chewy.
That was Chewy.
That was Chewy.
Oh,
So
congratulations, Chewy.
he works in the arcade.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he put his name in his special. I don't know him as
If
that. I know him as
if
Chewy.
anybody plays in at the Electric Bat, you know Chewy. Chewy runs our Japanese rhythm games.
And the knockout tournament, that
Oh,
his bounty knockout tournament. That's this Sunday.
this Sunday, and this will be out before Sunday,
Yeah.
so we can say this Sunday at noon, come play Chewy's world famous Bounty Knockout Tournament. Very cool tournament.
And if you're listening to this after that happens, it's
Hmm.
always the last Sunday of the month. So it's if it's the last Sunday of the
Hmm.
month, you can come play Chewy's bounty knockout, world famous.
There we go. All right. So back to Johnny Q Trek.
Yes.
He has another question with partnering with a location. I've often thought about doing this, but would be so nervous to leave a multi-thousand-dollar game at a location. How do operators hold venues liable for non-play related damage to a machine? Um, how do you deal with that?
Okay. So whenever we had a game at a location that was not the Electric Bat,
Hmm.
they made us sign a contract.
Okay.
They made us have some external insurance, which
Hmm.
would have covered any of that stuff. But in a more casual setting, that was a very large corporation.
Hmm.
If you're putting it in, uh, like,
Cale,
Cale's Pizza
the
Palace.
Pizza Palace that I'm apparently starting. Cale's Pizza Palace.
If you put it in Cale's Pizza Palace,
But like we know each other, so I like it would
I know
be
where you live.
it would be like a handshake. Yeah. So
It would be. And you can certainly have some contracts. I know
mhm,
if you're renting games to home stuff, there's kind of a basic contract you can find on the internet and use that. Um, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know how well that would hold up.
right,
Were there to actually
right.
be,
This is not legal advice. This is
yeah,
just what
certainly
we've
not.
experienced. Um, so.
But it does help to have that sort of thing in writing, so that way you can at least say,
Mhm,
bro, this was the arrangement. But I
yeah.
would also say that sort of damage doesn't happen as much as you think it would.
Right.
Like, think about the Electric Bat. We're open 20 hours a day. People are in there all the time.
Mhm,
Um, People just don't damage machines like that.
right.
We've maybe just been really lucky, but I haven't heard horror stories from other operators either. Pinball machines were built to be played.
Mhm,
They're built, they're tough.
right.
So that's just not the kind of thing that we've encountered.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess it's just like getting to know this person you're going to be in business with, feeling them out. Yeah, because weird stuff could come up.
Yeah,
And is this the kind of person you want to deal with when
yeah. If you get
a machine catches on fire? I don't
oh,
know.
uh, you, if you get weird vibes from the get go,
Yeah.
like working at Cale's Pizza Palace may not be like it may not be
No,
worth it.
that would be a dream to work
Oh,
with.
oh,
I mean, come on.
I thought we were still talking
Okay.
ship.
Back to our friend Johnny Q Trek. This is a good one. How do you assure that the venue that they'll get an accurate cut? Does the venue go through the service menu audits with the operator?
Ah, okay. So they can, and I certainly have heard of many situations where the location owner and the operator get together and go through the audits together.
Mm-hmm.
Most machines, that's that's not an easy thing to fake, right? The audits are going to be the audits, and
Right.
they're going to be accurate. There are, this could come up in something like um, some of the games when you update them, they do clear the audits. So we had this happen with some Jersey Jack games, which
Then Scooby Doo did it.
and
Well, actually, Scooby Doo has and they've
Yeah, it's
Spooky
not
has a
old.
weird way of doing audits where you have to look at the coin drop on either side.
So
Is
here's how I do the audits on Scooby Doo. Side note.
hmm
There,
But it's still germane to the topic.
yeah, very
Yeah,
germane. If you're thinking you want to put a Scooby Doo on location,
right.
go for it. But the way that I have to do the audits is to go in to the switch audits
Hmm.
and see how many times the left coin and right coin switches have been activated.
hmm
Add that up and do the math to figure out what that equates to in dollars.
What a giant pain in the ass.
It is. It's not even. It's deep in the menu. That would be a really nice thing
Hmm
if you're listening, Spooky. If you could just do some coin drop audits, that would be spectacular.
I think they're having enough trouble just
Yeah,
making things happen.
making it
I don't know
shoot.
if they can take demands like that. And then on Jersey Jack, and I don't know if it's with all of them, but with it's done it to us twice on Godfather. When you do an update, it clears the audits. So before you update Godfather, like I said, I don't know how the other ones work. Uh, get a photo of the audits before you update, because you will lose them. You'll lose everything. It's not like a Stern where it keeps all of the audits.
There might be something in the settings where we can go and change that. If you know, if you're listening and you happen to have paid attention to the menus in that, if there's something we can do to switch around,
Hmm
um, that would be cool. But yeah, so in cases like that, I can see an issue where you actually don't have the correct audits.
hmm
And then you're getting into some coin counting and things, and that's when you learn the lesson to not do that, to make sure
Yeah,
that
we
you
don't.
always have some good
We've
audits.
learned some hard lessons along the way.
We have.
Uh, he had another question about what if there's a discrepancy between the coin audits and the actual cash in the box? How do you resolve this? Or has it ever happened?
Well, that would be like what I was just talking about with those machines. You would yeah, you would, otherwise you're not going to be counting. Like, who's going to go through and count that many quarters,
You,
like a
you never
month's worth
know.
of quarters? Someone might.
Well, we talked to a friend of ours, a bar owner, who
Ooh,
had
yeah.
some machines in there, and the operator brought in a actual manual
Oh,
token,
the old crank.
a
It looks like a
token counter.
big old coffee grinder
Right.
type thing.
And the token counter was like 50 cents or 75 cents off of the edits the audits in the software, which is,
50 cent. Who cares?
and he was kind of worried about it. The bar owner's like, who gives a shit?
I'll give you. Here's 50 cents.
Right.
But
So,
I would.
so it does happen.
Yeah, but I
If
would
you,
rely on the audits on the game before I would on the old hand crank token machines. I think, or token counters.
100%. Okay, I have another. We're moving on. I have another question here.
How
This is from Cale on the podcast. That's me. Yeah, it's me.
you're
Yeah.
you have a question
I have
on
a
your
question. I
mailbag.
thought about this. I was driving down the road, and of course, as soon as I came to a complete stop, I put this in my notes. Um, if let's say this is
Was it
the
a stoplight or did you just stop?
it was a stop. I was on the interstate. Everybody else is doing like 85, and I'm just like squeak. Yeah. Here I am. And luckily everybody in Phoenix understood. They're like, he's obviously
Just a
just
regular
jotting down a
drive.
note for the podcast. Um, okay, so if you approach a bar about installing some coin op machines, what are the best machines to add? I mean, of course it'd be whatever machines you have, but let's say this is what you want to do. You want to start becoming an operator, get into pinball and video games. What machines make the most sense? Let's say I haven't purchased them yet, and I want to purchase them.
Uh, you got like a windfall scratcher ticket.
I got a scratcher ticket,
Okay.
and I already know about machines and repair, and I want to but I want to purchase the best like 3 or 4 machines that are going to make a place popular. It's going to be an attraction for a bar, a
Make
bar.
you some money.
Make me some money.
Best ROI.
Yeah, what machines do I need?
Man. Well, just pinball or all machines?
No, all machines.
Okay. So I would go with Stearns.
Stern,
Stern,
modern Stern.
modern Stern is what makes the most money. And
Hmm.
you see people all the time complaining about Sterncades. And this is assuming that you have limited budget and limited space, right? Because if you can have, we're lucky we have room for 60 pinball machines.
Right.
So we have a huge variety because also that's what we
Hmm.
love. But we're talking about advice too.
Yeah, let's say in this situation you have enough room for like two pinball machines and maybe a couple of video games.
Ah, okay. Um, Pinball machines, I would do new Sterns. They're going to require the least maintenance,
Hmm.
and they they just earn. They earn
Now,
really well.
what about a classic remake like a Chicago
Mm.
gaming what do they
Oh, an
have?
Attack from Mars.
Attack from Mars,
Okay, I'm changing my story.
the Monster Bash.
Those
Okay.
also earn,
Yeah,
but especially Attack from Mars.
okay, so
Attack from Mars
you would do like an
and
Attack from Mars and a Godzilla,
I would do a Godzilla and an Attack from Mars.
and you're in business.
Yep.
You're making money.
So right there, those
Hmm.
are two bangers. Can't go wrong.
Hmm.
And then I would get one of the anniversary combo Galaga Miss Pac-Mans. Those everybody remembers Miss Pac-Man,
Hmm.
Galaga. They love it. Um, it's gonna make money. People enjoy it, and
That's crazy. And what do you have those on 25 cents, 50 cents? What?
we have ours on 25 cent,
Okay.
but I know most people have them on 50 cents, and they do very well.
Cool. So
We could double.
so those three games and you're in business.
Yeah, but I would also get a shooter.
Oh, and what do you mean by shooter? Like
Shooter.
Contra?
No, I mean a video game with physical guns that you hold in your hands, and
Because anybody can play
at
that.
the screen. Yeah, it does. You don't have to read new rules. You don't have to know anything. You just know you put your money in, you pick up the gun, and you point at the thing that looks like you're supposed to be shooting it.
Hmm.
So we've got an Area 51,
Yeah.
and we also have a gigantic
Shooter.
shooter.
Right, with the machine guns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is always great whenever we see families come in during the day on the
Yeah.
weekend. You see a little 6-year-old in church clothes,
Right,
blown up
right.
aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and then if you had the room for a driving game, like a little cockpit game that you sit in, preferably two of them linked together and you could race against your friends, I would do that.
Hmm.
That's where I would start.
Oh, I think that's a good deal. So you ultimately you want a Attack from Mars. You can probably find these things. There's remakes out there. They haven't
Aren't they gonna
rerun
run
them
those?
recently.
Oh, they're gonna rerun Medieval
They
supposedly.
they've been saying that, but I think they need to get onto our Pulp Fiction.
That's true.
We're ready for that thing.
Finish up those Cactus Canyons. Make us
Yeah.
a Pulp
Oh, we
Fiction.
don't even have a Cactus Canyon. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. We're getting one of those.
Yeah.
The Cactus Canyon.
LE.
The LE. Okay. So you would suggest if somebody's clean slate, buy an Attack from Mars, a Godzilla, and the combo.
Miss Pat Gallagher.
That's it. Are there CRT versions of that, or they need to find an old? I mean, are there LCD versions of that? Are they going to be dealing with like CRTs?
Well, the CRT version is the version that we have. There are LCD versions that people.
Are they emulators?
I'm not sure if they're officially put out.
I think people really want the real deal, the CRT.
Yeah, this is one, and it's heavy. That is it, because it's a
Yeah.
big monitor. That game is
Mhm.
heavy.
Okay, heavy but worth it. It makes money.
Yeah, and people love it.
That's good. Uh, Next question, and I can't remember who this was from. This is from like so many people, so I just added this. A lot of operators. Actually, we've had some distributors asked us this question because when they're going and installing games in a venue, people ask them, "How do I set up Insider Connected?"
Mhm.
Man, there's no real easy way to do this. I deal with all the. Do you have any input on that?
The input
maybe-
that I have is that I watch you do it, and I'm glad that this is on your list of to-dos and not mine.
Right.
Because it looks like it's something that's gonna be worked out, but for now you really need to,
For sure.
you know.
For sure. There's no like easy way to do this until Stern creates an app for like an Android device or something like that. So Stern suggests getting an on device. It's ONN. It's sold by Walmart. It's even manufactured by Walmart. It's inexpensive. You can run to a Walmart and they usually have them in stock, or just you can get them online. You can get them on Walmart.com. You can get them on Amazon. They're under $20. And it's a little stick you plug into the back of the TV, and they suggest using the Odin browser. So this is an Android device,
Odin, like the god.
like the god.
Odin.
ODI. So that you download the Odin browser, and the reason they suggest this is one of the few browsers on there that actually displays Insider Connected properly. So you can use that. The problem with that, with the device and the browser, is that it won't always update. Sometimes it'll take days and days, and I have to like manually up, because people are like, "Hey, why is my score not up
That
there?"
happened to me. I got like 20,000 on, or yeah, 20,000 on Bond 60th.
It was almost like a week
And
before it updated.
it didn't, like, I know I was logged in.
Right, because we keep it on 24 hours
You
a
keep
day.
it on.
We keep the on all the time. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, and you have to manually just shut it down, and hopefully have that URL bookmarked, or if not, you can go. I think you can go into the history, pull it back up, and boom, everything will be updated. Here's the tricky part. We just got a big 4K TV. One of our buddies donated to us, Conrad. Thank you
Thanks,
so
Conrad.
much. And we put it in another room. So when I went to go get an on device, I got the 4K version,
Of
because
course.
there's a 4K TV.
I want to see those scores in high def.
Right. Luckily, it wasn't super expensive either. I think it was like under $30. But Odin browser will not even work on the 4K on device. So even if you have, right, it just crashes.
It's like too many pixels.
It's something up with the developer. They need to update it or something. It won't work on the 4K device. So if you make sure you get the HD on device, if you want to go this route, don't get the 4K one. Odin browser doesn't work. Now there are other browsers that do work and show Insider Connected properly, but they fall asleep after.
So
After like 30 minutes or an hour, they fall asleep and you have to update it. I mean, if you're not there at the venue, this is a pain in the ass. And especially, this sucks because we have friends of ours who have their machines at a bar, a restaurant, and they want to know how they can
yeah.
keep this going, the Stern Insider Connected going on the monitor, on the TV, without having bar staff. They like to do as little as possible at most places.
I mean, it's not their job.
Right,
Like,
right.
it's,
And they don't want to rely on bar staff to maintain your
Definitely.
Insider Connected display.
Yeah.
So, I've been talking to some folks at Stern, and they have suggested using Yodeck.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yodeck.com.
It's like that little skateboard that you use with your fingers.
Is that a Yodeck? Yodeck? Yeah.
Okay.
Tech
Tech deck.
Deck. That is a tech deck. You should love tech
Yeah.
decks. Yeah, tech decks are great. So Yodeck, it's not like a Stern Insider Connected thing. It's for displaying deals and menus and whatever on TVs. I mean, if you've been to any restaurant, I think even like Chipotle would have like stuff like
That's what-
this.
When it changes, flashes through. Like today, you can get a
Today's special.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with Yodeck, also it can accept feeds from like a URL. So you could have, once you start an account, I believe to show it on one monitor is free,
Oh, I like that.
but if you want multiple monitors, that's when they charge you like a monthly fee.
Okay. So can you just have like several different monitors?
Like daisy chain?
No, I was
I
just
don't
thinking
know.
like, or like just set it up separately.
I don't know.
Like
I don't
one of
know.
them shows.
I'm just getting into this.
Okay.
I just started an account. I'll talk about it more on the next episode or a future episode. But this is kind of cool because one thing, you still need some type of device. It doesn't just access a URL. So You need, I think there's a Yodeck device, and I think it's around like 60 to 80 bucks. I
And when
can't,
you say device, you're describing something that plugs into like an HDMI port or something, like just
correct.
like a little stick,
Just like an
not
Amazon Fire Stick.
not like a VCR.
Right. And there's even instructions to use an Amazon device. There's even instructions on how to use a Raspberry Pi.
Oh,
So as long as I think as long as it's an internet connected device, you can use it with Yodeck.
okay.
And I believe if you sign on to the Yodeck service
Mm-hmm.
and do multiple, which will allow you to do multiple displays, I think you get a device for free.
Oh, that's how they get you. That's the
Yeah, but
subscription
check it
model.
out, yodeck.com. Stern
Cool.
suggested using that. The coolest thing about this is not only can you display Insider Connected, but you can display other stuff, tournament dates, bar specials, drink specials,
Photos of winners of your last tournament.
yes,
That would be
anything. You can
cool.
display the monitor can revolve through so many different types of information, and we're gonna start using it. It'll be fun to mess with this.
Yeah, if people have been
Mhm.
using Yodeck and they have any tips, we'd love to hear them. We'd love to
Yeah,
learn not the hard way.
one
Would be
hundred
cool. Send us
percent.
some stuff. I like
Um,
the idea of having like tournament winners,
yeah,
players and stuff.
the
Just
photos.
yeah,
Right. Here's me.
yeah,
I won something.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to be on a TV cycling through for a week.
Okay. Back to the mailbag.
Oh wow!
You
I
ready?
can't believe
Ready for this one?
is this
You
one?
you didn't know I had all these
How do you
questions.
have all these questions?
I don't know.
Just stop it on the freeway,
I
jot
think
things
yeah,
down.
I think this came from one of our tournament players when I was just
Okay.
talking to him in person because I didn't jot down a name, but if it's you, thank you so much. Um, a day in the life of working at the arcade? Now this person was specifically talking about electric bat. Like what happens? You
Oh,
show up in the morning, you get your coffee. What do you do? What happens when
okay.
you first park the car and roll into the bat?
Let's see. We park the car, roll
Hmm.
in. Okay. The first thing I do is I walk in and see are both the token machines working. You wanna make sure there's no flashing buttons on that. Got to make sure people can play. The second thing I do is I look at the clipboard. That is where people write stuff down that is
Hmm.
broken or might be broken, and see what's on that list. Sometimes people write us nice little messages.
Oh, I love those. Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
You're beautiful. Keep smiling. Right?
I don't. Yeah.
I've seen
Those
that
were to
stuff.
you. Cale,
Yeah.
you're beautiful. Keep on smiling, Cale. That's
I appreciate it.
yeah. Look at that smile. Who I'm gonna write some
Yeah.
stuff on the clipboard about that. But yeah, I wanna know. I wanna get an assessment of like what's going on. And then I just walk the arcade and make sure that there's no machines turned off.
Okay.
That I don't know like why. I'm looking for things that might be messed up that I need to fix. Then I go into our office and I sit down.
Mhm.
I like sitting down.
You said that you
Like
reflect
I
on
just
how
got out of the
wonderful
car.
your life is.
Yeah,
Living the pinball dream.
I do. I look at my list. I sit there and just kind of make my plan for that day.
Okay.
The order of things I'm gonna fix. And yeah, I do. I look at my tools and think about how awesome my tools are, and how I have a nice little
We
cart.
we do love tools.
Love
We're
tools.
like would you call us tool nerds?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kale and I each have separate sets of tools
Right.
because we're both working on games at the same
And
time.
if you want to see what we use, there's a tool tab on our website,
Oh yeah.
electricbatarcade.com.
Those are
Yep.
yeah, some of our tools. We should add even more of our tools on there.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So I have my tools on a little cart that I got.
That
from
was my
It
idea.
was your idea, and it may be, it's in the top 5 best arcade related ideas that you have.
Mhm.
But you did not buy one for yourself.
No, I do the big Milwaukee tool backpack,
Yeah.
and I like it because I want to kind of have some strength training while
While you're at work.
while I'm walking around the arcade. I want to take this big heavy thing, load it on my back, and walk around.
I am the opposite of that. I
Right.
would like to not lift 40-pound backpacks
For
full amount.
sure. Yeah.
Um, and so I like to, yeah, I push it around my little cart. I have all my tools very handy easy to grab because they're not on the floor in a backpack. And yeah, so at that point, I take my tools around and start working on machines. Start with the easy things first, stuck balls, coin jams, stuff like that,
Right.
and then move on to the the stuff that's going to take a little bit more time. But we always have friends in the arcade, so a day at the arcade is it's very much like anyone's day at the arcade, except I'm also fixing things.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Like we're not drinking and we're fixing things. So the
Yeah.
stuff that
Yeah.
people are, letting us know is broken. But
It's a blast.
we get to have the experience of like hanging out with people
I know.
all day long, having a great time.
Playing Venom, which
You
I kind of want to go play it right now.
I think
Is it time?
we're getting very close to going to go play Venom, I think.
Good deal.
Yeah, so what is a day like in the arcade for you?
It's exactly the same, except I goof off a little bit more. Right? That's what you were fishing for. I know. I'm picking up when you throw it down. But it's not goofing off. It's marketing. I'm talking to people. I'm doing a little palm greasing.
Palm
Yeah,
greasing.
yeah. Just making sure shit goes smoothly.
If you're greasing people's palms, maybe they need the
Right.
electric
Pick up one of
arcade,
those.
though.
Did we tell people where to get those?
Website.
Electricbatarcade.com.
Merch.
It's like $20. Shipped.
Shipped. Yeah.
Landed.
Free shipping.
Landed.
Mhm.
And those things are cool. Thank you. That is sounds like an awesome day.
It is an awesome
How often
day.
do you go to the arcade to work?
6 days a week.
Good deal. And when we're not there, John Chappell
John Choppel is there.
and
taking care
and
of
Mark
things.
taking care of things.
Yeah.
Mark Pearson.
Mark Pearson. Yeah, he's got some
Good deal.
things in there.
But we've assembled a great team.
Some days
Mhm.
I'm in the back,
Uh-huh.
just working on. So if our games are going to be down for less than 48 hours, we keep them on the floor. With a
Mhm.
little sign on says we'll be fixed soon. If there's something that's a little bit more of a head scratcher, we pull it in the back.
Right.
And then so sometimes I'm back there trying to work out what's gone horribly wrong, why this game is smoking.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was gonna, and something I don't think we've talked about on any podcast. You mentioned we have 2 token machines,
hmm
and of course, I mean it's obviously for reliability because token machines do go down. I don't want to. I think that would be a good topic for the next episode because we can get into the reasons for 2 token machines, the reasons for 3 token machines because we're about to put another one on the floor.
Yeah.
And then the pros and cons of using tokens versus a
Oh,
card system.
Oh, yeah.
But that's
People do ask us that a lot. Like
Yeah.
in the arcade, like
why don't we use
why don't you
yeah.
use straight quarters?
Yeah, yeah.
Or are you going to do that card thing?
yeah.
Or thank you for not doing that card thing.
Right.
Yeah, that's a whole other
That's like a whole episode, a whole half episode at least. Yeah, we won't get into that now.
I do sort tokens as a
we-
part of my daily.
Oh, that's
sort
right.
A lot of tokens.
Because we have to pull the quarters out. Man, we end up with like cupfuls of quarters. We have to figure out what to do with those things. Fantastic. So before we take off, what's coming up at the bat? New games, tournaments. I know we've touched on some of this.
Oh, we've got well, we said GTF is coming soon.
Yep, Galactic Tank Force. We just got Venom in.
Yep, Venom is there.
Tournaments.
We've got a tournament this Sunday. We talked about Chewy's
Mm-hmm.
Bounty Knockout. We have next Sunday is Roland is running another tournament that is a cool format. It starts as a max match play,
Mm-hmm.
and then the finals portion is another format that I can't think of off the top of my head, but it's awesome and fun.
This is
It's like
he already did
Around
one
the
of these,
world,
right?
or it's
Like a
lot of
round robin, something like, isn't it?
We'll
What's the restaurant? You got the burger joint. You found the red yum.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I want my baby back. Chili's baby back ribs.
Barbecue sauce.
Yo, Chili's baby. We don't eat at those places.
No.
Don't eat there, man. Every time I see people eating at places like that, I just want to walk in with a crowbar. There's a great locally owned restaurant down here. I just want to
Right.
smash the plates. Anyhow, okay, we got Sunday is Chewy's world famous bounty knockout tournament, and then the following Sunday next week, Roland is having his cool
Yeah,
tournament. He always puts
yeah,
on some cool tournaments. I'm glad people players are getting into that, throwing their own,
yeah.
using the bat as a venue for their own
You're a
tournaments.
vessel of questions. The arcade is a vessel of
A
tournaments.
vessel of fun.
Vessel of fun. Yeah. Yeah, and if you want to run a tournament,
Let us know.
yeah, we had Jay from California come
Oh
and
yeah,
run.
that's right. He did the Waffle House tournament.
Yeah, they flew in from California for a day, went to
Hmm.
Waffle House for breakfast, had a tournament at the bat,
Right.
and then went to Waffle House for dinner,
Yeah.
and then flew home.
Here's the best part. They did the tournament for themselves.
Yeah, they thought it was gonna have
Yeah.
like 5 people because it was the middle of the day on a Tuesday.
Yeah. They were surprised that over 20 people showed up in the middle of the day on a
I
Tuesday.
think it was like 40 people.
Was it 40?
Something.
And then we had a tournament at night. So
Yeah.
we had like two tournaments.
Back to back.
Also, Mark is doing a big tournament at the bat. It's
A 3 day.
the 5th-year anniversary tournament.
Yeah, oh, Electric Bat's 5 years old, so this
Hmm.
is the tournament to celebrate it.
Hmm.
And that's a cash tournament. Like
Oh, nice.
you win money. It's gonna cost $30. It's live on IFPA right now to sign up.
And this is a 3-day tournament.
Yeah, this is a 3 day tournament,
Hmm.
and then there will also be some ancillary tournaments
So
surrounding that. So you can play
this will be exciting because this will be
much like District 82. That's gonna be in that vein.
sure like District 82 or Indisc or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, excuse me. That'll be exciting because some local folks who don't travel will see what it's like to play one of these big 3-day events.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and it's only $30, and the money
That's
all
a
goes
deal.
towards
Because
towards
stuff
the
like this
winners.
is usually quite
100
expensive, especially
plus.
if you get into the old pump and dump card system.
Oh gosh,
Man,
then you're
how
like
much did I
500.
spend at Indisc? Or you pumped the brakes on that one?
Yeah, that was. Yeah, he's like, just give me a couple more cards. I was like,
I had fun trying to
yeah,
qualify for that. I mean, I knew I wasn't going to get in, but
yeah,
it was just a blast playing those machines. Because I mean, they're set on like extra hard mode.
it's crazy. It's
It's
so
like
much
it's like the
fun.
reverse of God mode. If you're playing Doom, it's like let's make this hard as shit. Um,
Reverse guidance dog
yes,
mode.
dog mode. Okay, thank you so much to our sponsors, Game Room Goodies. If you're looking for a new game, any kind of machine, not just pinball, get in touch with Aaron at Game Room Goodies. That's GameRoomGoodies.com. And extra special thanks to Marco Specialties, MarcoSpecialties.com. I think even MarcoPinball.com goes to
It
it.
all goes
It
there.
all goes there.
Basically, just Google Marco.
Marco Pinball, Marco Specialties, but MarcoSpecialties.com, where they offer everything pinball. You need parts, lights, flipper rebuilds, any legs. You get
Glass.
legs.
You can get
Oh, they
glass.
have good deals on glass. You get a two.
A
Well,
two
you
banger.
save on shipping with a two banger. Get your
Yeah.
glass from there. Thank you all for coming on board, and we will see you guys at Expo. Expo's coming up soon. We can't wait to check out the old Stern Marco Specialties booth. Back together again. This is going to be a lot of fun.
The old
It's,
crew back
it's like we're
together.
getting, and we're going to be there. Kyle is going to join us.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Yep, he's staying with
He's
us.
at Stern now.
He's at
Marco,
Stern.
now at Stern.
We're all a big old happy family.
Ilona will be there. She
He-
just opened an arcade.
She opened up. You know, we need to have her on talking about her arcade
That will
soon.
be great.
That'll be a great episode. Okay, so happy flipping, everybody. We're going to head to the arcade to play Venom. Hopefully, you guys can meet us there.
Yeah.
And we'll have this episode up as soon as possible. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you. Send us your questions to electricbatarcade@gmail.com
Here we go.
and in the Discord.
All righty. Bats are out.